Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on assessment for 4 of and as learning for the feedback strategies course, module 2. So I am demonstrating a PowerPoint presentation that I am going to show in one of my computer classes. And the goal is to introduce the concept of assessment of, for, and as learning, and hopefully provide tools for students to be able to take charge of their own learning and self-evaluation. So first of all, I want to basically discuss with them the different ways teachers evaluate students. And the idea here is to compare and contrast the different ways teachers will give feedback to students. So there's the assessment of learning, which is the regular traditional way of tests and exams. And then there's assessment for learning, which is when teachers provide feedback during the course. And then assessment as learning, which is basically the goal to provide the students with the ability to analyze their own performance, to analyze their own learning. And hopefully by being critical about how they learn and having a mindset of, getting feedback to improve themselves and generating their own feedback, it'll help them become more aware of like any skill gaps or any knowledge gaps and be more active in addressing those issues. So I do want to give the students a chance to process these concepts. So I will be giving them discussion questions. So the first discussion question is to talk about from their own past experiences, what were their thoughts about tests, right? And then following this, I will be eliciting their response. I'll be putting them in groups to kind of generate discussion. And then we will talk about it. And then I will also talk about, why are assessments necessary? Right? Why do people have tests? And hopefully this will help them understand why assessment is a valuable learning tool. Following this, I want to then again break them into another small group discussion, but this time they'll be talking about the concept of self-assessment. Like why would people want to be able to learn how to assess their own learning? And hopefully this will help them process some of the concepts that were initially talked about or shown and allow them to kind of think and accept these concepts. Maybe it will not show right away, but the idea is to plant the seeds and eventually the seeds will grow and hopefully self-assessment may become a form of lifestyle for them, especially if they continue taking courses. Now, I do want to empower my students, and one of the ways to empower my students is to provide them with tools. So I do want to spend some time talking with them about the different self-assessment tools that is currently being used in schools and classrooms. The idea here is self-assessment is usually something very new to a lot of people. So hopefully by giving them examples of how students currently are assessing themselves or grading themselves, it will also give them ideas on how it might work for their own practical daily lives. And my goal as well is not just to make this a make work exercise, but the reason I asked them to choose 4 tools is that I hope to incorporate whatever tools they choose by basically by vote. Then those are the ways we will assess the course in terms of participation, etc. So I do want to practically use their choice and incorporate that in the learning environment. Following that, I also want to choose myself a specific self-assessment tool that will also helpfully guide them as well. So this is for the end of the course, kind of like I want to give them a chance to do a big, kind of like a big work activity. And then after this activity, I want to give them a chance to score their group. Or if they're doing it by themselves, give themselves a score. So I'll be introducing the criteria, the rubric, and then giving them a chance to score themselves. They can then give me the score on paper. And then we can also have a discussion about what they thought of the process, what were the ups and downs for them, etc. And then at the end, I want them to do a self-reflection. And this also hopefully will help them understand why, for example, doing self-reflection journals may be useful as a self-assessment tool guide. So these are some of the tools that I'm hoping to incorporate in the course. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you were able to find something informative and interesting in the presentation. Thank you.